It's not 100% clear um, what we are dealing with. Some people say that there are these mass companies, the big brothers, and that they, the people that are running the show around here, and that we get hooked on short-term enjoyment and dopamine, and the all the content and scrolling and all that. Some people say that it's because um drawn to pointing a finger to the outside and are more looking on the inside and saying we have our traumas from childhood, from early life, and these are just response mechanism. So it's just our own traumas kind of getting triggered. Some might say it's both. It's those people that are kind of taking advantage of those traumas. But I think it really maybe it doesn't really matter to say who is responsible for that. If it's them or if it's me, if it's I. But I think it's more important to know that it exists and that we have these enemies, maybe inside of us and maybe outside of us. But the enemies that um, they are here to kind of deprive of us of doing the things that we really want to do and being the kind of person that we want. Um, so we have our projects and our life visions and dreams. What do we want our relationship to look like? What we want our life to look like? Our body to look like? Our mind? Our day-to-day life. Most of us have already had at least a taste of what happiness is, what love is. Um, but to live in a life which is really something you would want to hang up on your wall. Some people say the art of living. So, really mastering that art, like how many people are doing that? And in the past couple of days, honestly, I've been trying to figure out what is bringing me into some like ruts and why am I getting there from time to time, and what contributes to that. And I've thought about maybe some foods. At some points I want some not so healthy food like a pizza or something like that, sugar or fried something, and maybe that starts the thing, right? So the food goes to my body, it goes to my mind, puts me in a different state. So maybe I just need to avoid that. Or maybe it's the content, right? So much content out there, whether it be like porn or um, media, short-term bite-size content. It can be longer content, but it's not beneficial. News that I don't personally read, but I know affects many other people. Um, so what is it? And trying to really find a thing to get free from. Also building my routine in the past few days. I really understand that it all comes down to routine because it's all about the journey, it's all about the path that we are taking. There isn't one big decision that I can take right now that will immediately change the entire trajectory or not the trajectory, but the entire substance of my life. But I can go into a different trajectory, go into a different path. So this path is not what I'm doing at this moment, but what am I doing day to day? What am I committing myself to doing, regardless of how I feel? It's so important. And it's funny because I've tried to build a few important things in my routine in the past couple of days, which I try to figure out what's the most important priority, and I prioritize some different things. One funny thing is that didn't really occur to me is that I have been doing meditation and breath work for so long, for many years, but in the past couple of days, of course, there are some days where I don't do them at all. In the past couple of days, trying to build a routine, I try to disclude kind of, I didn't really think about those two, but they are huge. They are so important to think that we can use our brain to get us out of this thing that is bigger than us, that is generational, that is, our life is only this long in comparison to the problems that we are facing now, which are generational, which are collective, which are societal. To be able to really navigate through them and reach some conclusions that are true to us and are also solving the problems for others, to free ourselves from these shackles, there needs to be some form of surrendering to a power bigger than us. There is no other way that I know of. To think that we can solve all of this just using our mind and logical thinking is giving too much power to our ego, thinking that we have what it takes to just think our way out of today's life's issues. So just doing even a 5 minute breath work a few minutes earlier, it became inherently clear, infinitely clear to me, that breath work and meditation cannot be a secondary thing, cannot be an optional thing, it cannot be something I do when, but it in fact has to be inherent, a key piece of the puzzle that I'm building. It has to be the edges, it has to be the most important part of the puzzle to be truly free in this life, to achieve what I want to achieve and to be the person that I want to be. I will need the help that is becoming available to me when I leave the realm of this world and enter the higher realm, the deeper realm, and really just commit surrender to the power and the flow of the ever loving force that has created this whole reality. So that's what I have for today. Bye.